EOD, explosive ordnance disposal. He scrambled the letters, added and subtracted. Now he has a candy business. Extraordinary delights.
Happiness, success, achievement, maybe just an end to the pain is just one step beyond what you think is the most you can take.
Kerry Sanders, NBC News, Santa Rosa Beach, Florida.
And that's nightly news for this Thursday. Thanks for watching. I'm Lester Holt. Please take care of yourself and each other. Good night.
KUAM TV8, first on Guam.
KUAM News Headlines is presented by Calvo's Insurance, a legacy of trust, serving Micronesia since 1938. Matson, celebrating 25 years of commitment to Guam, Micronesia, and the CNMI. Cars Plus Hyundai, home of the Kona electric vehicle, an electric heart with an SUV soul. Test drive yours today at Cars Plus. McDonald's of Guam, I'm Loving It, and King's Restaurant, serving your local breakfast, lunch, and dinner favorites for over 45 years.
Ahead on Prime Time, an investigation has been launched after a 1-year-old is found unresponsive at a home in Dededo. And starting today, residents will see an increase in their power bills. And NMI leaders say Pagan is off the table for military training. These stories and more right here, right now on Prime Time.
Hafaday and good evening, everyone. Welcome to Prime Time. I'm Tyler Matanani. Glad you could join us. Information from the Guam Police Department is limited regarding the death investigation of a 1-year-old girl. As we reported, officers from the Dededo precinct responded to a report of an injured person along Batulo Road in Dededo late yesterday afternoon. According to a release issued by GPD this afternoon, the child possibly drowned and was found unresponsive. GPD Chief Steve Ignacio confirmed with KUAM last night that medics from the Guam Fire Department transported the child to Guam Regional Medical City with CPR en route and was later pronounced deceased by attending physicians. The case is under investigation pending the results of the autopsy. A pretrial conference was held for John Richard Bass this morning before presiding Judge Alberto Lamarena. Bass has been charged for the murder of 39-year-old Virginia Laguarnia. In June of last year, he allegedly repeatedly stabbed her to death in front of her children and injured a 19-year-old woman. The murder occurred at Hotel Mayana in Tamuning. Previously, he pled not guilty by reason of mental illness. However, he was found competent to stand trial. In court today, Judge Lamarena ordered that both sides file any pretrial motions before September 2nd, with jury selection scheduled for October 3rd. Congressman Michael Sinicolas has said he is seriously considering a run for governor, so it's not clear if he will seek re-election as Washington delegate. What is clear is that a House ethics investigation is still in motion, and recently leaked documents of a January 2020 confidential report submitted by the Office of Congressional Ethics provide in detail why they believe the House Ethics Committee should move forward with the investigation. Here's more.
As recent as last month, Congressman Michael Sinicolas' former campaign chair, John Paul Manuel, was interviewed in Washington, D.C. by the House Ethics Committee. After all, he was the one who made the initial allegations against his former boss back in 2018 about having an affair with his district director and using campaign funds for personal use. Within the past week, confidential documents leaked to island media regarding a report completed by the Office of Congressional Ethics 2 years ago. That report detailing the investigation the committee conducted. Now, according to the documents, OCE investigators found, quote, substantial evidence the congressman formulated a scheme to get an illegal $10,000 donation for his congressional campaign in 2018. The report also reads, our congressman, quote, undertook efforts to conceal the contribution from the Federal Election Commission and the public. According to the report, if San Nicolas did in fact engage in a scheme to accept the donation and cover it up, he violated federal laws and FEC regulations in doing so. The documents detail a meeting at Sidelines Bar where the congressman, the campaign donor, and Manuel were discussing campaign finances. The congressman allegedly saying he was having a hard time raising money. The campaign donor agreeing to donate $10,000. San Nicolas then allegedly saying the $10,000 would have to be in cash, which would make it easier for the money to be washed out in low-dollar fundraisers. After the OCE review began, investigators learned that San Nicolas's new campaign manager and district director, Jennifer Wynn, sent a September 2019 letter to the campaign donor claiming the campaign had only found out about the donation when the Guam Election Commission notified them about a complaint filed by Manuel about the donation. However, the OCE also received a copy of a January 2020 letter from the campaign donor saying he, quote, was informed by the San Nicolas campaign that the contribution would be entirely lawful, but that the donor now understands that may not be true. FEC records and KUAM files show San Nicolas's campaign returned a $9,000 donation to local businessman Andy Park in February of 2020. We should add that the OCE report noted that the congressman as well as the district director refused to cooperate with their review. As we reported, this report, the basis for the House Ethics Committee to move forward with an investigation into our delegate. Chris Barnett, KUAM News.
Effective today, the average monthly residential power bill will go up another 10%. Last night, the Public Utilities Commission approved the increase, citing soaring fuel prices and the growing fuel cost under recovery by GPA. Nestor Lecanto reports.
The fuel surcharge, commonly known as the LEAC, is normally set for every 6 months. But under extenuating circumstances, PUC Administrative Law Judge Fred Horecki says the PUC can step in and make what it believes are the necessary adjustments.
If the PUC didn't increase the LEAC, the under recovery was set to go from about 17.5 million up to, I believe it was 32 million, an increase of 14.5 million. So those are the kinds of circumstances where the PUC will come in and say we need to have a midterm adjustment of the LEAC factor. And the most compelling reason for that, just look at fuel prices between February 1st and March 22nd. The fuel that GPA purchases, high sulfur fuel oil, went up 30%.
The LEAC was increased from 18 cents per kilowatt hour to 21 cents. So now the average customer who uses 1,000 kilowatts a month will pay about $307 instead of $278, or another $28 more. Horecki says GPA has tried as best as it can to hold down rates, but it can't continue to do so.
So the under recovery is like a debt that the ratepayers owe to GPA. It's being in the hole on money that's owed. It's almost like you could go to your gas station and say, oh, can you front me some credit here? Let me get the gas and then I'll pay later.
He says that advance credit, if you will, is getting too big, and the increase is just to stop it from getting any bigger. For KUAM News, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
A special session may be called to vote on Senator Chris Dueñas's highly contentious resolution to terminate the public health emergency. After Wednesday's well-attended public hearing on the measure, Dueñas says he's more convinced than ever that the restrictions such as mask mandates have to end. Nestor Lecanto reports.
Less than 48 hours after the public hearing, Oversight Committee Chairperson Speaker Therese Terlahi reported out the more than 300-page committee report. Now, sponsor Dueñas says he's waiting on the Rules Committee to report it out so it can quickly move forward.
Not only am I going to ask for a special session, Nestor, I'm going to ask for committee of the whole. So I want to bring everybody back to the table. I want to give us a black and white on why you need this public health emergency for the healthcare reasons. I can easily attach that to the resolution then to make sure we don't lose any federal funds and that we don't jeopardize anything, Nestor. But then we could pass the resolution intact, which ends all mandates.
In a separate strategy, Dueñas says he will also lobby once again to override his vetoed bill that would have required the governor to get legislative approval each month to extend the public health emergency. He says that would be the better way.
We can have the governor's office and all sectors come down to the legislature and hear a new resolution that would say to extend or not to extend the public health emergency. We could take care of the healthcare needs after getting a lot of transparency on the procurement and what's happening, what's actually being purchased, what's actually being, if there's question costs or the like, and the clinics can speak up and say, hey, we're not getting paid. That's the right way to do this, Nestor. And we could have been doing that for 12 months now, but the governor insists that Bill 11 is not proper.
But the governor has mustered strong opposition to ending the public health emergency, and many administration representatives testified at the hearing how it would hamper their ability to protect the public's health and the recovery from the pandemic. But for Dueñas, it comes down to accountability.
I want to be clear to the people of Guam. I would do absolutely nothing to jeopardize the health of our people. But I think that it's important now for us to keep the people informed properly that this is a pandemic of a broken healthcare system and that it's not particularly anymore about these mandates.
For KUAM News, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
Session is underway at this hour. As we noted, Dueñas will not pursue an override unless he's got the votes. 2 prior attempts have failed. Today was the official opening of the War Claims Processing Center at the Guam Museum, a huge step in the right direction to compensate survivors and descendants of World War II. $10 million have been appropriated from the general fund to the Guam War Claims Fund. Applications can be picked up and dropped off at the Guam Museum from Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. or at your village mayor's office or the Department of Administration's website. You must provide the ID of the claimant or deceased along with a birth or death certificate. However, the committee is prepared to address cases where proper documentation might be lacking. Those that already filed under the Guam World War II Loyalty Recognition Act are not qualified for the Guam war claims. For more information, go to doa.guam.gov or call 671-989-9227 or 9278. The application process ends on March 30th of 2023. The island mourns the passing of Guam businessman Paul Shimizu. Shimizu had many contributions to the island community. He also served as vice chairman of the Guam Visitors Bureau Board of Directors. In a statement, Governor Lou Leon Guerrero said, as the youngest of the Shimizu brothers, Paul shadowed his dad Ambrosio and worked hard to earn his place as a community leader, generous philanthropist, and loyal supporter of local athletes and musicians. GVB Board of Directors Chairman Milton Morinaga and President CEO Carl Gutierrez also issued statements, quote, "We appreciated his leadership and will greatly miss his presence. On behalf of the GVB board, management, and staff, we thank him for his service to the tourism industry and to our island," said Morinaga. Gutierrez adding, "He was one of the kindest men you would ever meet. He had a heart of gold. His untimely passing is felt by us all. Our thoughts and prayers go out to Paul's family." Still to come on your news leader, Tomas Manglotnia has the latest with DOD amendments for Pagan. These stories and more coming up next on KUAM.
Half a day. Gas prices continue to rise and we are here to help. We have revised Program Salapi to provide a $300 direct cash assistance payment to most households. We've expanded income eligibility so more families will benefit.
We've heard your struggles, and we hope this relief will help during these difficult times. The Department of Administration will begin accepting applications on Tuesday, March 15th, 2022. For more information, visit doa.guam.gov.
This ad is paid for by the Office of the Governor using government funds.
It's beautiful.
It is, right, baby?
Dad, isn't that where we usually stop for gas?
It's where we used to stop, but not anymore.
But isn't that the place with the milkshakes?
Okay, all right, let's go.
Get it out, kids.
Take your adventure further in the first ever Santa Fe Hybrid.
Let us know what's up on our KUAM News WhatsApp tip line at 671-727-0094. Share information about what's happening in your town, on Guam or the Sinamay, and what you want us to know. Reach us on WhatsApp at 671-727-0094.
Over in the Sinamay, local leaders are on a united front saying hands off Pagan and no to a high-caliber live training on Tinian when it comes to joint military training in the Marianas. The move comes at a critical time as defense ramps up amid rising tensions in the Asia-Pacific. Regional correspondent Tomas Manglotnya has the details.
The people's power influencing military might, NMI Governor Rav Torres, Tinian lawmakers, and the Northern Islands Mayor Vicente Santos, backed with over 27,000 public comments, marking a major milestone for joint military training plans. After several key meetings and input as part of the National Environmental Policy Act, the Department of Defense amended its proposal, eliminating any training activities on the island of Pagan, construction of landing ramps in Chulo Beach, a high-hazard impact area for the use of artillery and aviation-delivered munitions, an extensive range footprint, extensive fencing, and special-use airspace. The use of Pagan is now off the table, and there will be no high-caliber live-fire training on Tinian. The Office of the Governor says that the amendments have an eye towards training for the future with significantly less impact and harm to the environment and culture. Governor Torres says the proposal achieves closer balance to the developments they'd like to see in the Marianas and is aligned with the intent of the crafters of the Covenant Agreement. Tinian Mayor Edwin Aldan says the amendments allow for the cattle industry to grow. Aldan says there will be now greater public access to historical sites and beaches. Local leaders and DoD officials met for 3 days last week to discuss the revised plans. Northern Islands Mayor Vicente Santos says he's pleased that Pagan is out, allowing for rest, recreation, and eventual resettlement of its residents. Major General Mark Hashimoto with the U.S. Indo-Pacific Command says that when the people of the Sinamay spoke, DoD listened with respect for the land, people, and culture in mind. Tomas Manglotnya for KUAM News on Saipan.
The Guam Department of Education is hoping to wrap up the teacher pay study in a couple of weeks after the agency originally aimed to complete it by March. With the latest, here's KUAM's Isaiah Ugin.
The Soup John Fernandez had said in a previous interview that he was hoping this teacher pay study could be completed by the end of the month, and guess what? It is the end of the month.
Well, let's add another month to that.
Okay.
That's Acting Guam Department of Education Superintendent Erica Cruz referring to the unfunded teacher pay study being conducted by the island's largest school system, which was originally planned to be completed by the end of March. The study covers about 1,938 active employees.
We do have a pay study committee, which involves about 48 individuals, which includes teachers, administrators, librarians, counselors, not nurses, but it encompasses a lot of individuals, and they meet on a weekly basis.
Ordered by the governor, GDOE is currently working with the Department of Administration to finish up this study.
DOA will provide salary data, and then it'll come back to us. We review it. We'll go back to DOA, and then the estimated time of completion of this particular project is at in a few weeks.
An educator within GDOE asked how will the efforts be supported. According to Cruz, pay raises will be implemented through the Guam legislature, appropriating more local funds to the agency.
It's a matter of going to the legislature and requesting for more money, and if that money does come in, then we'll be able to pay our employees based on the study.
As KUAM News reported, first, the proposed increments may range between 5 to 22% and could cost up to $15 million to implement. That's according to Guam Education Board Chair Mark Mendiola.
We hope that the legislature and the governor commits when this study is completed, and we hope that it's not just based on availability of funds, but it is provided to these well-deserved employees.
With GDOE aiming to implement the pay increases by 2023, the study must be completed by September of this year. Reporting for KUAM News, Guahusi Isaiah Uggan.
Students from PC Lujan Elementary School in Barrigada got a clearer picture Friday of what it takes to become a firefighter and police officer. The home of the Satellites hosted a mini career day with various law enforcement agencies, including the Guam Police Department and Guam Fire Department. Sergeant Paul Tapal is with GPD's Community Affairs Division.
We are displaying our Special Operations Division. We have our guys from our Special Weapons and Tactics. We have our recreational boating safety guys with the boat. We're just giving the kids just a visual and of course an explanation of what it takes, what it's like to be a police officer. The kids and the community is accustomed to seeing the patrol officers. They're accustomed to seeing the policemen out there, but they rarely get a chance to see the fine men who are assigned to SWAT or Special Operations Division. So we're providing them with that opportunity.
The Career Day's goal was to inspire young minds to think about a future in law enforcement. A heads up for those needing the monoclonal antibody treatment, as the Manilao Clinic will be closed on Monday, April 4th for faculty maintenance. The MAB Center will reopen on Tuesday, April 5th and will remain open throughout the week. The Infusion Center is open from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. To book an appointment, call 671-998-4627. The Northern and Southern Region Community Health Centers will also be closed for vaccinations on Saturday, April 2nd. However, community testing will be offered at the Northern Region Community Health Center on that day. Individuals with COVID-like symptoms are encouraged to book an appointment at the Northern Center by calling 671-635-7525 or 7526. Don't forget to bring a photo ID. Stay tuned. Up next, Dave Delgado with your roundup of local sports. Keep it here. You're watching KUAM.
Don't need a work break, keep the smile on your face. The moments you can't replace, and I'll be around. Whoa. You can count on me. You can count on me for life.
Wherever life takes you, we're always here for you. Calvo's Insurance. Count on us for life.
I'm stuck in this infinite time loop thing. I'm reliving the same day over and over again. I get to do whatever I want.
Plus, Taco Bell's nacho fries never leave the menu.
She's violating the nacho fries limited timeline.
Does that happen every day? Let's dip.
Try her now!
What's happening?
Let's get spicy!
Look out!
KUAM Sports is brought to you by Docomo Pacific. Better together.
What's up, Guam? Dave Delgado here for KUAM Sports. Thanks for watching. I'll get to your buckets of the week in just a bit, but first off, women's basketball highlights from the UOG Caldwell Fieldhouse. Check it out. Fuetza and the Northern Mariana Islands women's team met up in the NMI friendly games at the UOG Caldwell Fieldhouse. The tournament runs March 31st through April 2nd. In the women's division, the UOG Lady Tritons, Northern Mariana Islands, Lady Bombers, and Fuetza are competing. Stepping onto the court on the men's side are the UOG Tritons, Northern Mariana Islands, KFC Bombers, and Micro Friends. NMI's Mickey Kotz with the baseline jumper. Kotz finished the game with 16 points. The game was tied at 56 after regulation, sending the game into overtime. Haley Benez with 8 points in OT for Fuetza. NMI's Destiny Pangolina was balling out. Pangolina put up 26 points. Destiny also hit for 8 points in OT. The game would go into double overtime with Fuetza winning 82-70. Fiona Bakulig was the third leading scorer for NMI with 13 points. Fuetza's Babs Kukendall, 23 points in the win. Haley Benez added 18. Shay Benez chipped in with 15. Time to go to work and get some buckets. St. Anthony's Colin Baker with the steal. Goes straight to the rack for the layup. Raiders bringing the pressure. Jarrett Coe with the pass. Drives to the basket, picking up the screen for the floater baseline. Tristan Hahn showing his dribbling skills, weaving through the defense for the left-handed finish off glass as the Raiders cruise to the victory. Shout out to the homie at Heavy Hooper on IG, YouTube/Heavy Hooper for the highlights. MVP stars Merrin Martin with the deep ball from inside the three-point line at the opposite end of the court. NBI 4 stars inbounding the ball. Alfredo Royster rolls it to Mav Kinareng, who pulls up one step past the half-court line for the deep ball as time expires for back-to-back crazy buckets. Don't forget to send us your best shots. DM our KUAM News on Instagram or hit me up at sho@kuam.com.
KUAM Sports is brought to you by Docomo Pacific. Better together.
Unified Communications, UC, is the next step in a business phone system. Introducing Docomo Pacific UC, your business phone. Instant messaging, video, voicemail, fax, and more. All unified on one platform and delivered through the cloud. Merge your desk phone with your mobile device. Turn voice calls into video conference. UC reduces phone costs. UC boosts productivity. Work better together with Docomo Pacific UC.
Mobile offers a new and convenient way to fuel your vehicle. Pay gas and go. No need to line up inside the store. Press preset. Enter whole dollar amount without decimals. Press loyalty ID and enter your mobile number or insert Smiles card. Insert and remove payment card or tap contactless credit card. Begin fueling. And don't forget to grab your receipt. Pay gas and go. It's that easy.
Welcome back. We wrap up the show with your birthday shout-outs. Here's Jason Solis.
Today may be April 1st, but it is no April Fool's joke. We have some awesome birthday celebrants to celebrate today. So here we go. April 1st, happy birthday. And it's a Friday. That's extra awesome. Happy birthday to Nova Ray Macias. Happy birthday number 5. We love you so much and wish you all the happiness and joy on your very special day. We hope, says your family, that it's filled with as much love as you give all of us. Happy birthday, Dad, a.k.a. Michael Cruz, to you and me. May God bless you with many, many more. Love, Sam, Santini, and Zara. And Atisa Lujan, happy birthday to you from Dad, Amista, Gavin, Mom and Pop, and Kaylee. And Charlene Guerrero Goulet, happy beautiful birthday blessings to you. We love and miss you plenty. Hey guys, it is no April Fool's joke. Again, can't say this enough. April 1st is your day, all right? And we celebrate each and every one of you if you had a birthday today, because you are awesome.
You can be part of our Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club by checking out KUAM.com. And it's that time of the week where we announce the winner of a Cold Stone Creamery cake.
Hey everybody, this week's winner is Jevin Daniel Uggan, who was born on March the 26th. Jevin, happy extended birthday, and we'll be in contact with you to let you know when you can pick up your delicious ice cream cake over at Cold Stone Creamery. Happy birthday once again, and we hope you have a great island weekend.
That's all the time we have from all of us here at KUAM News. Have a great weekend and stay safe. I'm Tyler Matsunani. Good night, everyone.